Good morning, students. Our today's topic in the subject of business studies, in the topic of internal communication, is written communication. Internal communication is done within the organization. And in internal communication, we are going to read written communication, that is also called black and white, today. So concentrate yourself. We are going to read different kinds of the written communication which are done internally in an organization. Communication by means of the written symbols, either printed or handwritten, are called written communication. So written communication may be printed or handwritten. Different forms are, the first one is letter. This type of the communication is rarely used within a business except where formal matters are concerned, such as appointments, promotion, or dismissal. The next form of the written communication is email. So this is the modern form of the communication. Electronic mail is a very effective way of the communication. The message can be received almost instantaneously by a large number of the people, no matter if the recipient is next door or in an office overseas. So you can send your message at once to a number of the recipients. The next form of the written communication is memo, an informal letter which is only sent to people in the company and does not need to be fully addressed. Memos are confidential and cannot be given to the people outside the business without permission from the management. Despite their informal format, memos have a legal standing and can be used as a evidence in the court cases. The next form of the written communication is the report. It is generally a detailed written statement on a particular subject compiled by an individual or a group. So it is a written statement on a particular subject because it is a report. It contains the objectives of the report, the findings or results, and a conclusion that contains recommendations about the subject, for example, financial statement. The next form of the written communication is agenda, a list of the points circulated before the meeting. So this is a list of the points which are circulated before the meetings to the recipient, that these points will be discussed within the meeting. So this is called agenda, which are to be discussed at the meeting. It includes date of the proposed meeting, main points of the discussion. So date is mentioned, on which date meeting will be held. Main points of the discussion are included in the agenda and other matters needing attention at the meeting. The next form of the written communication is minutes, an account of the main matters covered during a meeting, decisions which were taken, and a list of who is responsible for carrying out those decisions. So these are the points which are made during the meeting. So these are called minutes. The next form of the written communication is in-house journals, magazines, newsletters. These are produced periodically by the firm itself for circulation within the company. They contain news about new products. So new products are being introduced in the magazines, journals, or newsletters, which are printed by the firm itself for its workers. So the workers may familiarize with themselves with the working of the company. New employees may be mentioned in the journal so that the other workers may know who workers are coming into the company, and new employees also familiarize with the old workers. And similar reports. Additionally, large companies produce an annual report for their employees telling them how the company is progressing and what it plans for the future. So these are the things which are done through in-house journals, magazines, and newsletters. The next form of the written communication is forms. Forms are designed to make sure that all the information required is included in our communication. For instance, an application form for a job at Allied Carpets asks applicants to give their name. So look now, what things are required in the are given in the form. For example, the Allied Carpet asks applicants to give their names, address, and age, as well as details of their past work experience. So these are the things which are included in the forms. The next form of the written communication is databases. Allied Carpets keeps a variety of the databases, mostly on the computer. These are files of the information kept, for instance, on the customer's orders or on products. So these are the things which should be kept in the computers of the organization. These are called databases. A salesperson could look at a database to find details of a customer's order if there was a query. The next thing that is in the written communication is other information technology applications. Computers can now store and retrieve information in a whole variety of the formats. For instance, businesses has a sophisticated electronic point of the sale system. This stores information about sales as the customer pays for the product at the till. So when a customer pay at the till, you have frequently seen at the cash till that the cashier enters something on the machine, a bill come out of the machine, so all details have been saved in the machine. Retailers can use the system to give them written information about stock levels. So these are the advantages of the electronic point of the sale. So the retailers can use this system to know about the stock levels, sales, and new orders. Allied Carpets also uses email as a means of the communication. Email allows messages to be sent from one computer to another, both within the organization and those outside. Computer networks allow computers to be linked together to provide information. So this type of the technology is used within a big company where a lot of the workers are working. So computer network can be done to be linked together to provide information. Many businesses have a website or the internet to give information about the business and the products it sells. So these are most modern ways of the written communication. Okay, the advantages of the written communication. The documents of the written communication are easy to preserve because these are black and white. So these can be preserved either in the computer or in the files. The next advantage is written communication is the best way to represent any complex matter easily and attractively, because oral communication is not best for representing a complex matter. So definitely written communication is needed. The next advantage is the documents of the written communication act as the permanent record. When it is needed, important information can be easily collected from the preserved documents. The next advantage is written communication prevents the waste of the money and time. Without meeting with each other, the communicator and the communicate can exchange their views. The next advantage is if it is needed, written communication can be used as future reference because that is preserved. Oral communication is not preserved. So this is another advantage. Next, written communication helps to maintain the images of both the person and the organization. It also protects the images of the company or organization. Next, in the communication system, information is recorded permanently. So there is less possibility of the distortion and alteration of the information. So message cannot be altered. If it is preserved, it can be used even after the time. So no one can distort it or alter it. The next is the information and the messages that are preserved can be verified easily. If there arises any misunderstanding, any party can easily verify the information. And the next advantage is clear understanding, legal documents, acceptability, reduction of the risk, creating confidence, easy circulation, wide access of the coverage, etc. So these are the advantages of the written communication. Now we are going to read some disadvantages of the written communication. Written communication is comparatively expensive. For this communication, paper, pen, ink, typewriter, computer, a large number of the employees are needed. The next disadvantage is written communication takes time to communicate with others. It is a time-consuming media. It costs the valuable time of both the writer and the reader because time is used in writing the message and at the same time to read the message. So it is a time-consuming method. Next, red tourism is one of the most disadvantages of the written communication. It means to take time for approval of the project. So definitely the time will be used for writing the message, for reading the message, and then there will be time consumed in approval. So this is a time-consuming method. If receiver is illiterate, written communication is quite impossible. This is major disadvantage of the written communication. Secrecy is not always possible to maintain through written communication because here needs to discuss everything in black and white. So secrecy is not possible. Since writing documents cannot be changed easily at any time, lack of the flexibility is one of the most important limitations of written communication because maybe something is wrongly done in the written message. So lack of the flexibility is another disadvantage. The next disadvantage is written communication takes much time to communicate with all the parties concerned. So the decision maker cannot take decision quickly because discussion is not possible in the written communication. So decision cannot be taken quickly. And other disadvantages, it is very difficult and expensive to keep all the records in a written communication. The next disadvantage is sometimes the writer uses complex words in writing a message. So it becomes difficult to meaning out to the reader because all the readers are not of the same caliber. So some workers are unable to understand the complex words or the ideas which are written in the written communication. So the objectives of the communication may lose. So this was the lecture, students. I hope so this will be much more easier for you to understand. So read this lecture again, understand it, learn it, and make your notes. Thank you so much.